contacted me yesterday and said, Sundeep, can you do a 10 minutes today, because our 10-minute speaker was indisposed. So I thought I'd do something a little bit different today. I'm a solicitor. You've heard I've been a solicitor since 1992 when I qualified. And I've been helping people ever since. And I think that's the greatest joy I get out of my job, when I have somebody whose life has been improved because of the efforts that I've put in, because they've seen justice in whatever form that may be. And the two areas of law I have practiced in over the years have been employment law and, to a lesser extent nowadays, criminal law. But I'll tell you a juicy story at the end, because it's my particular dinner party story. Some of you may have heard bits of it, but I'll try to tell you in a bit more detail. So I'm going to tell you 3 stories today to show you how I can make difference and how I do make difference on an ongoing basis in people's lives. And the first one of that is a client who came to see me, must be 3 or 4 years back now, and he was working for one of these airport car storage people, the kind that meet and greet. Basically, you drive your car to the airport, you meet the driver takes your Ferrari away and parks it in a old, disused gasworks around the back of the airport. And when you come back, you hope it's in one piece and it gets delivered back to you. And he was a retired man. He was about 70 years of age, so he'd got rid of his normal daytime job, and this was something he did to keep the pennies coming in, to enjoy the little luxuries in his life so that he and his wife could go away on holiday together. And one fine day, this upstanding company said, okay, we can't get insurance for guys who are over 67. Anyone over 67, you're out, we can't use you, goodbye, thank you very much indeed. So he came to see me, and immediately, ding, inside my head went the thought, this is age discrimination, because the days of the golden watch are gone. You cannot kick people out of the office at the age of 65. People go on working beyond that. So this was, in my view, a clear-cut example of age discrimination, both direct and indirect. And several drivers came to see me together. I represented this one. He didn't have any great means, but he had a household insurance policy which allowed me to represent him. And I secured justice for him. The company were forced to admit that they had discriminated on the basis of age. They had to change their plea to admitting the claim against them for age discrimination and for unfair dismissal. It didn't stop there though, because they gave some punitive damages because of the way in which the company had acted, and the amount of damages was appealed by the company, and it went on for some considerable time. In fact, it only finished earlier this year at the end of the day, but I got him all his money back, and my costs were paid either by the other side or by the insurance company. So it made a real difference to that person's life, and that touches me here. Another one I dealt with was an unusual one. This was a retired army officer, and he was working in the cadet force. But it was confusing, because as well as working in the cadet force, which is civil service, and which is paid and treated as civil service, on ceremonial occasions he would still be an army officer. So he had a kind of dual regulation. As a civil servant, he was a civilian, and he was subject to the same employment laws that civilians are subject to. But as an army officer on